Every single entrepreneur that wants to grow their personal brand on LinkedIn this year needs to focus on one thing first. No one talks about this, but I know this because I've seen it multiple times. They don't focus enough on understanding their unfair advantages. So if you're an entrepreneur, you have different things that you can utilize as content themes. It's not about educating, it's not about inspiring, it's not about storytelling, it's not about selling. It's about you. That's what makes a personal brand unique. Most people are using crazy strategies, templates, etc., and they don't work. Or if they work, it's a one-off. What you need to understand is that you need to list down exactly what your unfair advantages are. What this means is the things that make you unique to the market. So it could be from people that you've worked with, to things that you specifically do, to your unique mechanism or system that you have implemented in your business or for other people, right? These are content ideas. Now, let's say you have a unique mechanism. So it's a sales system. It's 7 steps and you have a name for it. This is an educational piece of content. You can tell people exactly how this works. And then with that piece of content, you're informing your ideal client of exactly what you do, who you do it for, and how in one single piece of content. You don't have to overcomplicate everything like everybody keeps on trying to tell you. It's not about the perfect strategy. It's about the perfect way to communicate what you do every single time. If you have one single system, for example, this could be turned into 5 different types of content. One is educational. The second one is a case study of how you implemented that system. The third one is a story about how you even found it. Then the 2 next ones could be a lead magnet and a sales post. That's 5 pieces of content ready for you with one single idea. It's not about overcomplicating everything. It's about just knowing exactly what you do. Stop copying other people. Stop being yourself in your business, because that's what's making you money. Now, how do we create content with that idea every single week without fail? Firstly, you need to understand that LinkedIn is not a quantity game. It's a quality game. Ignore what Gary Vee is saying, as much as I love him. Quality is what the main players are doing right now on LinkedIn. Volume is a long-term play. I can do volume now because I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of posts written. But at the start, I was only posting 3 times. That allowed me to grow from 0 to 50,000 followers to then 100,000 followers at literal rocket speed. I wasn't posting 5 times. I wasn't posting 10. I was posting 3. 3 or 4 pieces of quality content. That's all you need. So how you operate in this way, you think about it in 2 ways. So the 80-20 rule, 80% educational content, 20% storytelling content, or if you want to do it another way, you could do 20% educational content and 80% storytelling content, whatever resonates with you the most. You can go back and forth every single week until you find what resonates with your audience. Because ideally, you need to be treating LinkedIn like a testing ground. Every single post is giving you data and feedback. You're getting live feedback loops on what is performing well and what your audience actually wants to hear from you. Let me give you an example. When I started LinkedIn, I was trying to copy everyone. I was trying to curate content. I was trying to talk about TED Talks. I was trying to talk about books. I was using someone else's strategy. And then one day I spoke about storytelling. And then the other day I started writing about how to actually make money as a writer. And guess what? Those posts not only went viral, but also attributed into the most leads. So then if I hadn't tested enough formats and enough content types, I wouldn't have found the thing that made it work for me. So then I found the thing, I doubled down, then I tripled down, and then I 10x from there. So that's exactly what you should do to create your content system that you use every single week. Now, let's talk about the idea of picking a niche, because I've seen a lot of videos talking about becoming the niche and that you are the niche. Honestly, I don't think that works. It never worked for me and I haven't seen it work for anyone else. For example, Alex Hormozi, he is the niche. But guess what? Before being the niche, he was the person of influence when it came to fitness. And then after that, he went so big, he dominated that single niche that he was able to scale up to the business niche. And now he is the best known for being himself. If you think Alex Hormozi, you'll think about many multiple things like business growth, sales, and even fitness. But to get there, he had to own every single niche step by step. The best way to think about it is that you niche down, then you niche up, and then you go broad. So if you don't know what your niche is, just think about what is your main area of expertise. What are you doing in the job that you have if you have a 9-to-5 right now? Or what are you actually talented or even excited about? So for me, I didn't have a niche. I was just a broad marketer. Now, marketing is the most broadest term in the industry. It can be SEO, it could be digital marketing, it could be agency, it could be copywriting, it could be YouTube scripting, it could be anything, right? So when I realized that that wasn't going to make me any money, I realized, okay, I like how to write, I can tell stories. I dominated LinkedIn because I was able to write and grow fast, and I was getting leads from it faster than ever. So I realized, okay, copywriting is a niche, and then the vehicle to monetization is being able to get leads from LinkedIn specifically. So then guess what? My niche became LinkedIn ghostwriting for founders. It's that simple. You don't need to overcomplicate it. It doesn't need to be copied from someone else. You need to figure out what you could do on and again, even if you weren't paid for it. Because guess what? At the start, I wasn't being paid for it. I enjoyed it. And then it made it easy to monetize over the long term. Now, you have your unfair advantage, so you know exactly how you can stand out. You have your niche, so you know exactly who you're selling to and what you're being known for. Now, let's get into content strategy. Now, let me make it simple for you. If you're overthinking about what to write, how to write, this is the blueprint. Basically, LinkedIn right now rewards posts that are written with a photo. Don't do video because that's going to be a long-term play. If you want to do video, just know that this is an authority play. And what I mean by authority play is that it's not going to be the most viral, it's not going to get you the most followers, but it's definitely going to help you connect with your audience. So if that is your priority, then 100% do it. But if you're trying to, speed run to 100,000 followers as fast as possible, quite honestly, it's going to be a waste of your time. I love video more than anyone. You see me on YouTube all the time. But if I'm being realistic, video isn't optimized for LinkedIn. Just naturally, LinkedIn is not a video platform. So please, if you want to grow, use copy first and a good photo. Now, I need to talk about photos because I have beef with this issue. Basically, when I say photo and image, your image needs to position yourself as an expert. A lot of people use photos from holidays or even photos from Pinterest. Please do not do this. You are an authority and you are a leading expert. So you need to look like that. Photos speaking on stages, on a podcast, high quality photos that are professionally taken, or even candid photos of you speaking to someone else at a networking event. These are the photos that actually work. This is the reality, and I know it's hard, but what I did to get myself to this position is that I said yes to every single networking event I could go to, so I could just get the photos and use them for my LinkedIn. And over time, I started getting more opportunities, speaking, etc. This is also how you build authority over time. The more places you're being seen at doing cool things, the more cool opportunities are going to come your way and the better things you're going to have to talk about on your LinkedIn. So with this, you're creating a literal flywheel of opportunities coming your way from the first networking event you go to, then you're getting a photo at it, then you're meeting cool people that will invite you to the next one, and so on and so forth. And the next thing you know, you're going to be speaking at one of these events just because you posted that one time on LinkedIn and it maybe changed your life. Now, onto writing the perfect LinkedIn post. I've got good news and I've got bad news. The bad news is that templates, hooks, etc., they do work, but not as well. The good news is that LinkedIn has changed. They are prioritizing content that is not perfectly optimized. So I know for a time, you've probably seen on your LinkedIn that the best way to write a LinkedIn post is probably having a short hook, then a space, then another line. Right now, that doesn't matter as much anymore. What matters the most is your subject matter expertise. So if you were a sales expert and you wanted to write about your recent time at an expo, you would say something like, I just came back from this specific expo and I did this exact same thing. The hook may not be 8 words long, but what you have is keywords. So you have sales expo, you just said, I came back and I did this thing. That, as a result, attracts more attention than the perfect, most well-curated hook. I've seen it a lot over the last 3 weeks. We've been analyzing this specifically and closely because a few months ago during Cannes, LinkedIn actually hosted this specific event talking about what they are prioritizing on LinkedIn right now. And what they are prioritizing right now is expert-led content, not the best curated content. So please do not worry too much about the perfect outline or the perfect framework or the perfect template. Just focus on being the leading expert and making sure that your content within the first 2 lines makes you look like that. Now, for those that want a specific writing framework, I've got you. So you've got 2. You've got path and you've got slay. So path is problem, agitate, solution. First, you open with a hook that's 8 words long and a rehook at the end. So a problem, if you were this exact same salesperson, is like you are losing out on leads if you're not using SEO, right? And then the next line would be, here's exactly how to fix it. And then the solution is you actually outline step by step the solution. Simple. You don't need to overcomplicate it, just fill in the blanks. Now, if you want to tell a story about this exact same sales expo, you need to use the slay framework. So you tell the story, I just came back from this event and I learned this thing. This is exactly how I did it. And what about you? So story, lesson, actionable piece of advice, and a you. It's so simple to use. You just need to think about the main story and what's in it for the reader. Because obviously every story is interesting only if you make it interesting to read. And how you make something interesting to read is you connect it to a solution that your ideal audience wants. Basically, what's in it for me? Always think about it like that when you're storytelling on LinkedIn. Now, Now, next, you're going to be putting all of this effort into creating content, the perfect strategy, writing your LinkedIn content. So the thing that you need to be aware of is that in order for people to see your content, you need to become visible. And the fastest way to do this is not a one-off viral post. It's actually leveraging the one thing LinkedIn is built on and that is networking and connections. So the connection game on LinkedIn is very different to any other platform. Most platforms just have followers. LinkedIn has followers and connections. The easiest way to get seen is to build that connection base by engaging and connecting with people directly. So you connect with people directly by adding them one by one. The easiest way is to just add 10 people or 20 people every single day within your niche or adjacent niches, so you can get that volume and distribution from different parts of LinkedIn. So over time, as you create more content, then it gets seen by more people. Now, to leverage those connections and actually nurture them, you actually need to talk to them. So how do you talk to people that are strangers online? Just like a networking event, really. You're going to be commenting on their content, you're going to be engaging with it, you're going to be liking it, and even if you actually want to go a step further, you're going to DM them. When I started LinkedIn, I spent about 8 hours commenting, engaging, and hopping on networking calls. Coffee chats, I call them. And these exact same coffee chats have allowed me to literally leverage every single one of their connections to now grow from 0 to 250,000 followers and even more, because I made the time to build those connections. But if I hadn't, I am certain that I wouldn't be in the position that I am today. Now, with commenting, I have one tip that I need to give you because this is going to be super useful for you. When you're trying to comment, please do not just comment great post or thumbs up. You actually need to give them something to relate to. So treat every single LinkedIn comment as a mini post. In the past, when I was trying to grow my LinkedIn, I didn't know what to comment and my comments were vague, too basic, too fluffy. They didn't really matter. They didn't make an impact. And what happened was I was technically wasting my time. So the best way to look at things is look at the post and then see, where can I add value? Can I actually relate? Can I tell a story behind the scenes of this? Or can I make a funny joke? That is the best way to create the best comments. And also, if you think about it, LinkedIn right now is counting the impressions your comments get. So you can tell how important LinkedIn comments are right now for the platform because they enhance the experience of every single LinkedIn user. Again, making it a networking platform, not just a social media platform where people are creating viral content just for the sake of it. LinkedIn genuinely wants people to connect with each other and build professional relationships. So think about it like that. Even if it's not your style, even if it's not your thing, it needs to become your thing if you want to win. So that's everything you need to know about how to build a personal brand on LinkedIn in 2025. We've gone from unfair advantages to content strategy to the best frameworks to even how to comment. The playbook is now yours, and now all you need to do is implement it. But if you need more help, you can download my 7-day free crash course on how to grow and scale your personal brand on LinkedIn. It's down below. Check it out, and I'll see you in the next one.